Uh, in general, you always have to be careful. In general, you always have to be careful. In general, you always have to be careful. You always have to be careful. You always have to be careful.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. I like it when billionaires fight, and it's easy for billionaires to get along. Actually, Elon Musk proves this. Elon Musk tweeting something nice about Tim Cook and Apple's beautiful headquarters back when Elon and Apple were beefing. That turned out to not be true. Elon Musk is a good judge of character, and that is why we were very interested in Elon Musk shooting a shot across the bow at Bill Gates this weekend. NPR took $24 million from the Bill Gates Foundation. The Guardian took $12 million. NBC took $4 million. BBC took $3 million. CNN took $3 million from the Bill Gates Foundation? Huh? $40 million paid to media from the Bill Gates Foundation? Why? I'm sure this didn't affect their coverage at all, Elon Musk says to the End Wokeness account. Elon Musk beefing with Bill Gates, and for good reason. Elon Musk hates Bill Gates. There's a lot of reasons to hate Bill Gates, and we're going to identify all of them in this special little video. Elon Musk tells Bill Gates to get lost in leaked text messages. Billionaire T is sweet. Musk versus Gates. Musk confirmed that he and Bill Gates have beef. Yesterday, a Twitter user who focuses in part on electric vehicle news leaked text messages supposedly sent by Tesla and SpaceX CEO and Twitter CEO Elon Musk to Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. Sorry, but I cannot take your philanthropy on climate change seriously when you have a massive short position against Tesla. What that means in stock exchange lingo is you're trying to hurt my company financially. You're betting my company will fail. The company doing the most to solve climate change, Musk shot back at Gates when he admitted to holding a $500 million short against the company. So apparently Bill Gates hit up Elon Musk to discuss philanthropy and climate change. Bill said he hadn't closed it out, so Elon told him to get lost. No idea if this is true. So essentially Elon Musk confirming that it's true. Yeah, I didn't leak it to the New York Times. I heard from multiple people that Gates still had a $500 million short against Tesla, which is why I asked him about it. So Elon Musk picking at the scab. Bill Gates getting asked about this during an interview recently.
So this is a telephone emoji. So let's discover basically what's behind. So it's a text message discussion between you and Elon Musk, so the owner of Tesla and recently Twitter. The screenshots were leaked on Twitter, and Elon Musk a few days ago, as you know, confirmed this discussion happened. So in this chat, Elon Musk said that he can't work with you on philanthropic projects because you were shorting on Tesla, basically trying to make profit with the fall of Tesla's stock price. And Elon Musk sees this as contradictory to the desire to fight climate change. As he says, you should support Tesla's electric development. First of all, do you think he's right? And then, most importantly, how do you handle the fact as a billionaire, you might want to fight for causes, whatever they are, like climate change, but at the same time, you might want to make your money grow through investments?
Well, Tesla's not short of capital, and Tesla's done a fantastic job. The cars are great. I give a lot more money to climate change than Elon or anyone else. I give lots of philanthropic dollars. I back companies. You know, electric cars are about 16% of emissions, so we also need to solve that other 84%. But, you know, he's done a great job. But somebody shorting his stock doesn't slow him down or hurt him in any way.
Oh, really? Okay, so again, you are the scumbag who is sitting here saying we need to save the planet, we need to save the planet, everyone needs to take my medicine, everyone needs to essentially go back to the Stone Age, everyone needs to be taxed at 100%, except for me. And yet you're the one trying to hurt the electric car company that is leading to the largest reduction in emissions in human history. You're literally betting against it. You are trying to collapse that company. It's almost like Bill Gates is a giant fraud.
To the charge that if you are a climate change campaigner, but you also travel around the world on a private jet, you're a hypocrite.
Well, I buy the gold standard of funding Climeworks to do direct air capture that far exceeds my family's carbon footprint. And I spend billions of dollars on climate innovation. So, should I stay at home and not come to Kenya and learn about farming and malaria? Anyway, I mean, I'm comfortable with the idea that not only am I not part of the problem by paying for the offsets, but also through the billions that my Breakthrough Energy group is spending, that I'm part of the solution.
It's not bad when we do it. It's okay when I do it. It's ban all jets, ban all energy, ban all cars, except for mine. It's okay when I do it. Well, because who else would solve these problems? I have to have my nice little luxuries that I enjoy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Gates should be punished, and that's because he's a horrible human being. Bill Gates is an awful human being. Let's begin there. Bill Gates is a bad person. Bill Gates is a morally repulsive person. And that's not just us saying it. That's not just Bill Gates squirming every time he's asked about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. It's literally according to his wife and some of his closest confidants, his wife who divorced him because he was best friends with a child pederast, the most famous and prolific child pederast on planet Earth. Bill Gates met with Jeffrey Epstein many, many, many times despite his past. And what does that mean? His past as a sex trafficker. Here's a photo of Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates together. Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender who committed suicide in prison, managed to, well, okay, that... the jury's out on that one. But anyway, we fixed the glitch, right? We fixed the glitch. Managed to lure an astonishing array of rich and powerful and famous people into his orbit. There were billionaires, politicians, Bill Clinton, of course, Nobel laureates, and even royals, Prince Andrew. Few, though, compared in prestige and power, the world's second richest person, immensely private luminary Bill Gates. Is he a luminary, really? And unlike many others, Mr. Gates started the relationship after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of sex crimes. The sex crimes didn't bother old Billy. Mr. Gates, the Microsoft co-founder, whose 100 billion plus fortune has endowed the world's largest charitable organization, has done his best to minimize his connections to Mr. Epstein. I didn't have any business relationship with him at all, he told the Wall Street Journal. In fact, at the beginning of 2011, Mr. Gates met with Epstein on numerous occasions, including at least 3 times Mr. Epstein's palatial Manhattan townhouse, and at least once staying the night at Epstein's pedo palace. According to interviews with more than a dozen people familiar with the relationship and the documents reviewed by the New York Times, employees of Mr. Gates' foundation also paid multiple visits to Mr. Epstein's mansion. Mr. Epstein spoke with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, J.P. Morgan Chase, about a proposed multi-billion-dollar charitable fund, an arrangement that had the potential to generate an enormous amount of money for Mr. Epstein. His lifestyle is very different than the kind of intriguing, although it would not work for me, Mr. Gates emailed a colleague. Oh, the intriguing life of Jeffrey Epstein just wouldn't work for you, huh? Bridget Arnold, a spokesperson for Mr. Gates, said he was referring only to the unique decor of Epstein's residence. You remember the unique decor, the Bill Clinton in a dress painting? Yeah, that's the unique decor. It is in no way meant to convey a sense of interest or approval. Well, the approval was already conveyed because Bill Gates was one of his best friends. Over and over, Mr. Epstein managed to cultivate closer relationships with some of the world's most powerful men. He lured them with the whiff of money and proximity to power and famous and wealthy people. But it got worse and worse and worse for Bill Gates. Mr. Gates and the $51 billion Gates Foundation have championed the well-being of young girls. By the time Mr. Gates and Mr. Epstein first met, Mr. Epstein had served jail time for soliciting prostitution from a minor who was also required to be a registered sex offender. Oh, got it. Okay. So his glad-handing nonprofit that he runs is completely fraudulent. Got it. Okay. 2 members of Mr. Gates' inner circle, Boris Nikolic and Melanie Walker, were close to Mr. Epstein and at times functioned as intermediaries between the 2 men. So, ladies and gentlemen, the article here in the New York Times goes on to note the meetings and the businesses and the shared staffing and the billions of dollars and flights together. Mr. Gates and Mr. Epstein kept seeing each other. In March 2013, Mr. Gates flew on Mr. Epstein's Gulfstream plane to Palm Beach, Florida. Oh my goodness. Where else did they fly together? They shared staff. They shared cash. They shared money. They were sugar brothers, the two of these guys. Complete and total scum. And that is why, in these shocking revelations from Melinda Gates, Bill Gates's previous wife, before she divorced his ass because he was hanging out with this pederast, ladies and gentlemen, Melinda Gates saying, this is why I divorced him. I divorced him because this guy creeped me out, and he kept hanging out with him. What the hell is wrong with this guy?
You know, it was also widely reported that Bill had a friendship or business or some kind of contact with Jeffrey Epstein, and that you were not, that was very upsetting to you. Did that play a role in the divorce at all in this process?
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing. It was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you made that clear to him?
I made that clear to him. I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was. And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, you know, my heart breaks for these young women because that's how I felt. And here I'm an older woman. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It's awful.
So wait, just to pause here. So this is Bill Gates' wife, the person that Bill Gates presumably comes home to. Well, definitely not if you're on Jeffrey Epstein's island. But anyway, saying that her husband, Bill Gates, is hanging out with evil personified. This is his wife, by the way. The woman who he was like married to for like 35 years. Saying that her husband likes to hang out with evil personified.
You felt that the moment you walked in. I didn't realize that. Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Okay.
But I made it very clear how I felt about him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bill doesn't like answering questions about Jeffrey Epstein. That is made very, very clear. Bill Gates gets very nervous when you ask him about Jeffrey Epstein and will just straight up not answer. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Gates, irritated. You're going way back in time when asked about Jeffrey Epstein, and maybe that's because JP Morgan is having to face lawsuits over Jeffrey Epstein, and the people associated with Jeffrey Epstein are now going to have to pay big time, ladies and gentlemen. Epstein had been a client of JP Morgan and Deutsche Bank. JP Morgan spokesperson declined to comment. There's a landmark decision. To my knowledge, this is the first time a class of victims can pursue sex trafficking cases against two major financial institutions. So these are financial institutions that were complicit inside of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking. Is Bill Gates complicit? What a great question. Sure, it'd be interesting to find out the answer to that. So I think we shall keep asking. So Elon's definitely onto something. He can sniff out a fraud, phony, and a very evil person. So can Melinda Gates. Man, Bill Gates is a bad, nasty person. And he loved his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Tells you everything you need to know. Don't take medicine from this guy. That's guaranteed. This guy does not have any interest in making the world a better place. He's a bad person hanging out with evil personified. We, ladies and gentlemen, on the other hand, are trying to save this place from people like Bill Gates, and we're going to keep doing that. My name is Benny. See ya. Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry and then to meme them crying. Their tears, they taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, Base Patriots.